Abram and Sarai waited and waited for God to keep his promise that they would have a baby, but no baby was born to them. Abram and Sarai believed God, but they were very old and they could not imagine how God could keep his promise about the baby. They thought and thought, trying to think of their own plan to make God's promise come true. First they thought, one of Abram's servants, who was already a grown man, could be like a son, even though he was not their son. But God said no, that was not his plan. Then they thought maybe Hagar, one of Sarai's servants, could have a baby who would be Abram's son. Hagar found out she was going to have a baby. Soon she began to make fun of Sarai because she was going to have a baby and Sarai was not. Sarai was upset and began to treat Hagar badly, and Hagar ran away. But the angel of the Lord was watching Hagar, running away through the desert. He asked Hagar what she was doing. Hagar said, "I am running away from Sarai." The angel of the Lord said, "Go back and do not say mean things to Sarai. You will have a son and many grandchildren and many, many great-grandchildren. Name your son Ishmael." Hagar did what the Lord wanted her to do. But Hagar's baby was not the baby God had promised Abram and Sarah. When Ishmael was 13 years old and Abram was 99 years old, the Lord came to Abram and changed his name to Abraham. He changed Sarai's name to Sarah and promised to bless her. She would have a son. Her descendants would make nations, and some of them would be kings. Abraham fell face down and laughed. He was thinking, can a 100-year-old man and a 90-year-old woman have a baby? Abraham said to God, "If only you could use Ishmael for your plan." But God said, "No. Your wife Sarah will have a son, and you will name him Isaac. I will tell him my promises about his future descendants. Now about your son Ishmael, I will bless him and make his descendants into a great nation too. But the promises I have made to you will be the same promises I will make to Isaac. Sarah will have the baby this time next year." A year later, Abraham and Sarah had a baby even though they were very old. He was born just when God had promised. Abraham had named his son Isaac, as God had told him to do. Isaac means he laughs. Sarah said, "God has made me laugh, and everyone who hears will laugh with me. Who would have said to Abraham that I would have a baby? Yet I have had a son for him in his old age." Isaac was the son God had promised them. God fulfilled his promise to Abraham by giving him a son. Isaac was the hope of Abraham and Sarah for a future and a legacy. God fulfilled his promise of the world by giving us his son. Jesus ultimately fulfilled God's promise to Abraham, and he is the hope of the world for salvation and redemption.